Hello everyone, I am going to today explain the last part of the human sexual reproduction, okay, that is pregnancy chapter number 3 for standard 12. I am going to explain the pregnancy and the embryonic development, okay. I have made my video regarding the question answer of chapter 3. Part 1 and part 2, every question answer of NCERT have been discussed. But few topics from the inside, it is there. So in this video, I will try to cover those all, whatever we left. So here, try to understand during pregnancy what happens and embryonic development, how taking place inside the female woman, inside the womb. So this is the diagram of you all are familiar with the uterus, diagram of uterus where the baby is growing here. The embryo, it is called embryo here. So, you have studied this one. See this diagram. Here in this diagram, what is shown? The fertilization taking place here at the ampulla and isthmus junction. Every sentence you remember, important for your examination point of view. So at ampulla and isthmus region, in this diagram, you know that this one is the ovary and connected with the ligament, and this one is the ampulla region, infundibulum, and this is ampulla, and this one is the isthmus of the fallopian tube. So at the junction of ampulla and isthmus junction, ampulla and isthmus, the fertilization sperm, the male deposited sperm here, the sperm has to cover the journey up to this one through uterus and then up to the fallopian tube and then reaches here in this side where the fertilization taking place. The zygote is formed. Zygote start dividing to form 2 cell, then 4 cell, then 8 cell, then 16 cell. 8 to 16 cell it is called morula, and then it turns into blastula or blastocyst. So up to 32 cell structure, it becomes blastula and implanted in the uterine wall. Here you are observing. So what happens after that? This journey you are already familiar with. The continuous cell division is called cleavage. So after cleavage, many cells are added and blastocyst attached, implantation taking place with the uterine wall. No, you are already familiar. So after that, the blastocyst, what we have seen there already, blastocyst having 2 parts, the outer part and the inner cell mass. Outer part form the trophoblast. That is ultimately, try to understand here, this is very important. That outer mass of the cell form the trophoblast, and then which further form the placenta and chorionic membrane. But the inner mass, what is left inside in the blastocyst, which is 32 cell structure implanted in the uterine wall, we have already seen. So that inner mass differentiated into the embryo. Okay? Embryo differentiated, this inner mass of cell differentiated into 3 main pattern: ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. And that these 3 layers of the cells give rise to some of the organs which are origin endodermal to origin, some ectodermal origin, just like your skin, which is ectodermal origin. Similarly, various organs are laid down from the ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. Okay. Now, here try to understand, after implantation, trophoblast, that is the outer mass of the cell of the blastocyst, that form the chorionic villi. That is chorion, amnion, chorion, allantois and yolk cell. These are the 4 membranous structure which surround the embryo. What are these 4? First I have written here, amnion, chorion. The inner one is the amnion, second is the chorion, then the third is the allantois, and the fourth is the yolk sac. So these are the 4 membranes. amnion, you can see here, amnion, chorion, allantois, and here is a yolk sac. This one is a yolk sac. So 4 different type of membranous bodies are laid down after that, and these villi, chorionic villi, as well as uterine one, they impregnated with one another. They intermingle with one another, and that form the placenta. The placenta is the vascular supply. It is the blood supply from the mother side to the fetus, growing fetus or embryo. So here you can see the diagram that they are impregnated. They are intermingled with one another, and which two are intermingled? The chorionic villi as well as the uterine tissue of the female. So in one side, uterine tissue of the female, another is the chorionic villi of the trophoblast. They mix together, intermingle together, and give the relationship between the fetus and mothers, especially for the nutritional relationship as well as waste disposal relationship. Because the fetus cannot take food and cannot excrete there inside the mother's womb. All are done by the mother's inside. The placenta is connected to the embryo, and that placenta through the umbilical cord. So what is, sometimes the student asks the question, what is difference between placenta and umbilical cord? Who is the really conductor of the materials from parents, mother to baby? So in this way, the embryo, the placenta is the connected to the embryo through the umbilical cord. So it is the umbilical cord, which is a vascular connection made up of vessels, blood vessels, arteries and veins, through the umbilical cord. So placenta, which form the functional and structural unit of the fetus for the nutritional support and waste disposal. Now this placenta acts as not only the vascular supply through the umbilical cord, but also serves as a temporary gland. So this is called placental endocrine gland. Placental endocrine gland only formed during the pregnancy. Okay? And it secretes certain hormones which are especially known as pregnancy hormones. What are these pregnancy hormones? Pregnancy hormones are HCG and HPL. The full form of HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin. Human chorionic gonadotropin, and the HPL is the human placental lactogen. So these all only, and the third is one, relaxin, that is secreted by the ovum. It is not secreted by the placenta. But placenta secretes HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, and human placental lactogen. Besides that, it may secrete some estrogen and progesterone level, as well as cortisol and prolactin. These are also hormones secreted by the placenta. Thyroxine level, remember, during pregnancy, when the pregnancy comes, these 5 hormones, the progesterone level, cortisol, prolactin, and thyroxine, HCG and HPL, their levels are higher. This is the difference between non-pregnancy period and pregnancy period. Question may be directly asked. That which hormones are, when you examine the blood of woman, you can see the concentration range from the normal point of view during pregnancy about these hormones, HCG, HPL. These were not found in the before the pregnancy, only found in during pregnancy. But the level of cortisol, prolactin, which are secreted by the placenta, and thyroxine secreted by the thyroid, the level of these hormones is found to be raised during the pregnancy. So you must know about it. So these 3 hormones, HCG, HPL, and the relaxin, these 3 are called pregnancy hormones. State with question. Which are the pregnancy hormones? They are the HCG, human chorionic gonadotropin, human placental lactogen, and the relaxin. Okay, these 3 are the especially called pregnancy hormone. So throughout the 280 days, the fetus remained in the mother's and slowly developed under the embryogeny and then morphogenesis and organogenesis. The cells group of cells differentiated to form the different organs. Like in first trimester, we divide the whole 9 months of the period approximately into 3 terms: first trimester, second trimester, and third trimester. So in first trimester, what happens? After the 1 month completion of the embryo, it got the heart. Remember, after 1 month, you get heart from your mother, and the throbbing of heart can be felt there. Limbs and digit you get after 2 months of the pregnancy. After 3 months, we get the most organs. All organs of our body we get at least limbs and genitalia, male and female reproductive organs we get. In the second trimester, after the 5th month of the pregnancy, here it grows on the head first, and then movement. The fetus start doing the movement inside the mother's womb. After the 6th month, body is covered with fine hairs. All body is covered according to the male and female genders. The hair patterns grow on the body. Eyelids separates. Eyelids first of all remains closed, but after the 6th month, the eyelid separates and covered with hair. Then after that, eyelids separate and eyelashes also form after the 6th month. So at least after 6th month, the baby is fully prepared. We can terminate it. MTP is done. Medicated termination of pregnancy can be done by use of relaxing hand. So after that, what happens? So this one is the whole events taking place during the pregnancy. So at the end of the pregnancy, you have another topic related to parturition and lactation. So pregnancy is continued still and come to the last part. Then parturition means delivery, removal of fetus from the mother's womb. That is called parturition. So in parturition, there important event taking place, that the signal sent by the fetus itself. Fetus send the signal through the hormone into the blood that enrich the pituitary of the mother, where it compel the posterior pituitary gland to secrete relaxin as well as oxytocin. Okay, so relaxin is also secreted in the last of the pregnancy. Before that, but the oxytocin especially is secreted during that time, the last of the pregnancy, and that creates the rhythmic, continuous, frequent and involuntary action that is called fetal ejection reflex. Fetal ejection reflex. So that fetal ejection reflex compel the myometrium wall of the uterine to contract forcibly, and by first, second and third effort, the baby is delivered. So in this way, after delivery, the prolactin hormone secreted and the lactation begins. So first milk of the mother is also known as colostrum, which is full of antibodies and very, very good for the proper development of the baby. So it is the right of the baby that should not be avoided. Okay, so thank you.